Welcome to Zero Hanger Hard Knocks, where each week every team cops a hard knock or answers a burning question. We're fresh off round 17, so let's kick it off. Could the Crows shake up their ruck structure again at selection? Adelaide coach Matthew Nicks may again consider dropping senior ruckman Riley O'Brien ahead of his side's meeting with St Kilda, with young tall Riley Thilthorpe in line to return. O'Brien's managed just the 8 disposals and no clearances against Brisbane, but did manage to record 13 hitouts to advantage, with the Crows losing the centre clearances by just 1. Does Thilthorpe, who had a quiet weekend in the sample himself, return in a forward role, or will Nicks call on the future of the club to lead in the middle? What's stopping Brisbane from going the distance? Chris Fagan's men are humming in their run home to September, losing one of their past 9 and carrying a 5-game win streak into round 18 when they face West Coast. With all aspects of Brisbane's side fit and firing, are injuries the only thing in their way? Early season setbacks certainly hurt their chances in the opening half of the year, but with time to pivot and pursue, a top 4 spot now looks likely as they emerge as the form team of the competition. Which Carlton will we see come September? It was how much will Carlton win by at quarter time against GWS before 2 quarters of giant destruction ended their 5-game win streak. Blues conceded 14 goals to 3 in the second and third quarters before a fourth quarter surge saw them fall 2 kicks short of a miracle comeback. The question come finals time is, which Carlton will we see? The first and fourth quarter Carlton or the second and third quarter Blues? Can Flyers Pies turn it around? Collingwood have dropped 2 close ones in a row, which is unheard of under coach Craig McRae. Shockingly, they're now out of the 8 and prepare to meet a red-hot Geelong side at the G on Friday night. With the most evenly balanced ladder we've ever seen at this late point in the season, another couple of losses could spell a premature end for Flyers Pies in 2024. So can they reignite their aura as the home and away campaign closes? We'll wait and see. Can we now call Essendon a certainty? If the Bombers were going to panic their way out of a 2024 finals berth, Friday was the night to show it. Instead, Zach Merritt and that well-balanced midfield ensemble continue to show their maturity beyond their years, while Nate Caddy could be the future up forward at Tullamarine. Meetings with Melbourne, Adelaide and St Kilda in the coming weeks will be revealing. Justin Longmuir certainly wants more. A 51-point win and a firm top 4 hold wasn't enough to please coach Justin Longmuir, but beyond a 7 out of 10 grading for Frere's performance against Richmond on Saturday. Despite much to celebrate, like the dominance of Josh Tracy, Andrew Brayshaw and Hayden Young and others, the coach is keeping his side on the straight and narrow ahead of finals. Have Geelong unearthed their new midfield for the near future? The Cats' mastermind coach Chris Scott has done it again, pivoting a frustrated Tom Stewart into midfield to give his side a new weapon through the middle. Coupled with fellow defender Sam De Koning's switched into a ruck role, the pair of changes could be the catalyst for a premiership push as they look to break back into the top 4 this weekend. Can we put a line through the Suns' flag chances for not only this year, but maybe next year as well? Unable to win on the road, Gold Coast's September hopes are sliding fast. Now winless from 7 home games, any pursuit of a premiership where they'd need to claim a victory at the MCG looks distant if it didn't already. It might take another COVID hub situation for the Suns to be any shot of a flag in the coming years. The GWS veteran earning himself a new deal. Giants champion Callum Ward is doing his hopes of playing an 18th season in the AFL no harm, with a 30 disposal and 2-goal outing against Carlton on Saturday, having the ex-Bulldog feature among the Giants' best in a very big win. Yet to make a call on his future beyond 2024, it'll be hard for the Giants not to table something soon to the 34-year-old if they haven't already. Is Hawthorn skipper one of the biggest influences on the top 8 race? Without defender and leader James Sicily on Saturday, Hawthorn looked like a different side down back as they struggled to stop Geelong's attacking threats. Sicily's aerial dominance and pinpoint passing from defence was dearly missed, and any more weeks on the sidelines for the All-Australian could hurt the Hawks' hopes of September action even further. Is Melksham the missing piece in Melbourne's premiership pursuit? He's not the biggest name in the league, nor at his own club, but Demons veteran Jake Melksham has returned as a critical piece in the efficiency of Melbourne's front half. With a stingy defence and a strong midfield group, the forward 50 has always been the area that has let Simon Goodwood's side down in most recent years. Melksham's return from an ACL injury on Sunday against West Coast saw the Demons record their highest score of 2024 and potentially find the groove they've been chasing in attack. Does Clarko need to reconsider a youngster's role change? There were many positives to come out of North Melbourne's win over the Suns on Saturday, and among them was the display of forward-turned defender Charlie Comben. The Rooster was dominant in the air as he continues to be utilised in Alistair Clarkson's last line, with the North Melbourne coach flagging earlier this year that Comben will eventually return to the forward line. But with the key position Roos' current form, should the Roos coach be thinking about scrapping those plans? Will Richmond hold on to pick 1? Starting to think the Tigers are in line to claim the wooden spoon and therefore pick 1 for this year's draft. But that's where 2024 is leading us. Having fallen to 18th and separated by percentage, Adam Uze's side could have first dibs come draft night. They'll face North Melbourne in a month's time for a match that may determine who gets the opening pick, while games against St Kilda, Gold Coast and Hawthorn could also be helpful should they want to lift off the bottom of the ladder. How the Power can prove they are a premiership threat. They've been one of the most inconsistent sides of the year, but Port Adelaide do find themselves 4 points from second on the ladder. A difficult run home, which includes road games against Carlton, Melbourne, Gold Coast and Fremantle, as well as a bout with Sydney and another showdown, means they'll be tested to even make the top 8. If Ken Hinkley can get his side a second chance come finals, it'll be off the back of a series of wins against some of the biggest challengers in the competition and surely would have them viewed as a significant threat in September. Can we discount the Saints from the finals race? The Saints pulled off one of the upsets of the year at Marvel Stadium over the weekend, handing Sydney just their third loss of 2024. Currently 3 wins from the cutoff. Ross Lyon's side will rely on a few more miracles to see their team reach the finals frame. An inspiring performance like the one against the Swans could be the jumpstart the Saints need, and you just have to look at last year's home stretch to know there's no counting out any club until it's mathematically impossible. Is there any concern for the Swans? Having suffered successive defeats after carrying a 10-game undefeated streak into the back end of the season, the Swans may start to worry about their premiership prospects. The Demons of 2022 were undefeated before a mid-year downfall and struggled come September, with Sydney hoping to avoid the same fate. But with the likes of experienced names in Callum Mills, Luke Parker and Harry Cunningham still to return, there's not enough to suggest the Swans shouldn't be premiership favourites. When could West Coast move on from the Simpson era? If the week leading up to Sunday's game against the Demons wasn't worrisome enough for Adam Simpson, a slow start and an eventual 9-goal loss to Melbourne only made matters worse. Under increasing pressure to keep his job, the Eagles could soon decide to part ways with their premiership coach. A meeting with an informed Lions side in Perth this Sunday won't help, with a 7 straight loss potentially spelling the end for Simpson's tenure with West Coast. Is a Dogs defender the only man who can keep the club's season afloat? There were issues all over the field for the Western Bulldogs in Saturday's loss to the Power, but their backline stood no chance without veteran Liam Jones. Arguably Luke Beveridge's most important player, another week on the sidelines for Jones could spell the end for the Dogs' finals hopes, with a meeting against Carlton's key forward unit of Charlie Curnow and Harry Mackay to come next. Those are our hard knocks and burning questions leading into round 18. Are we right? Are we wrong? Are we asking the right questions? Let us know what you think in the comments. Hit the subscribe button and catch all the latest AFL news at zerohanger.com, the #1 AFL independent news source.